In the middle of a busy Roman intersection, well below street level, sits Largo di Torre Argentina. It's a sunken square surrounded by modern traffic. Over 2,000 years ago, this exact site held the Curia of Pompey. It's the very spot where Julius Caesar was assassinated on the Ides of March in 44 BC. But look closely at those Republican-era ruins today, and you won't find senators. Instead, you'll find hundreds of feral cats, sleeping on the marble pillars and hiding in the ancient cracks. These feline residents are cared for by a dedicated sanctuary. Their presence highlights a tension found in every growing city, balancing human development with the needs of the animals living within it. How we manage the animals living inside our rapidly expanding cities is a complex ecological test. Rome found a way to balance its ancient history with a living ecosystem. As human settlements have ballooned into megacities, we've taken over natural habitats and brought animals along with us. This has created a massive, human-made ecological issue. Millions of unowned stray animals trying to survive in concrete environments. This data visualization shows the estimated stray cat population across India. The numbers map out to roughly 9.1 million cats living on the streets of a single country. And the reality on those streets is harsh. For kittens born into these urban environments, the mortality rate is staggering, reaching 75 to 90% by 6 months of age, due to disease, traffic, and starvation. This massive population creates friction with human residents, too. Unmanaged colonies lead to loud fighting, create strong odors, and deep fears of zoonotic diseases. Historically, cities dealt with this by capturing and euthanizing stray populations in large numbers, but recent decades have seen a global shift. Laws and public sentiment are moving rapidly toward humane population control. Because humans created this overpopulation issue, humans are responsible for fixing it. And doing so requires identifying approaches that align with the cultural and ethical values of the people who share the city. Which brings us back to Rome. In 1929, the city excavated Largo di Torre Argentina, unearthing 4 temples from the Republic era. By digging well below street level, they accidentally built a protected microclimate. Homeless cats quickly moved in to find shelter among the stones. Soon after, local women known as gattare, or cat ladies, began bringing food to the ruins, starting a decades-long tradition of feeding the colony. In the 1950s, the famous Italian film star Anna Magnani joined their ranks. She worked at the Teatro Argentina right next door and would spend her breaks feeding her 4-legged friends in the ruins. The cats eventually took over a damp, cave-like underground warehouse that 1920s archaeologists had used to store their tools. By 1993, the population had swelled to 90 cats. People were abandoning their pets at the ruins before going on vacation, and the few volunteers were on the verge of emotional and financial collapse. Simple feeding was no longer enough. Compassion drew the cats to Torre Argentina, but to keep them healthy and the population under control, the caregivers had to professionalize. Volunteers built out that underground storage area into a medical hub, adding running water and electricity to support surgical procedures. With guidance and funding from international animal welfare groups, the volunteers learned to manage the colony using modern veterinary standards. They implemented a strategy known as TNR, Trap, Neuter, Return. This involves humanely trapping the strays, bringing them into the clinic, and surgically rendering the cats sterile. While sedated, the cats are vaccinated against rabies and other diseases. The tip of one ear is painlessly clipped to visually mark them as sterilized, and then they are returned to their exact original territory in the ruins. The data backs this up. TNR stabilizes the overall colony size over time. It also drastically reduces mating behaviors like loud yowling and spraying, resolving the primary nuisance complaints from human neighbors. To cover the costs of these surgeries, the sanctuary launched an adoption at a distance program, allowing people globally to sponsor specific cats. This shift toward colony management stabilizes the entire urban ecosystem by ensuring the feline population remains fixed, even as individual cats live out their lives in the ruins. In 2012, the successful system faced an existential threat. National archaeological officials attempted to evict the sanctuary from the ruins. The argument was that the ruins where Caesar fell were too historically significant to house a modern animal shelter. The site, they believed, needed to remain a pristine, inanimate monument to the past. The citizens of Rome disagreed. Within weeks, over 30,000 people signed a petition demanding the shelter stay, forcing a compromise that kept the sanctuary running. The city council actually passed a special proclamation officially recognizing the feral cats of Rome as a protected biocultural heritage. Today, the sanctuary cares for around 150 cats. They've reached out to assist tens of thousands of other strays across Rome, proving that community engagement can manage stray populations effectively. Humans build the infrastructure of a city, but a wide array of species make up its actual population. Torre Argentina shows that historical monuments can support living ecologies, provided we take responsibility for the creatures that share our history.